Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. This is going to be a real short stream. Thought I would show you guys the end result of what we were talking about yesterday. Right here is the loaf of bread that we started yesterday. It's all baked up, ready to go. Now, that being said, this was a slightly different recipe. It was an older recipe that goes back to early colonial times, and I had to adapt it to kind of fit modern day standards. So, if you're having a shortage of bread flour, you know, time's a thing. As a matter of fact, there's actually been a shortage of yeast in our area. So, one of the things that we may actually be considering is doing our own sourdough starter to help us out with making sure that we have enough yeast to continue to make bread, homemade bread. So now that I've said that, right now we're actually just waiting for the timer to go off and tell us that it's okay to begin cutting into this loaf of bread. And Princess Faye will get to be the one to decide whether or not it tastes any good. So, and pretty much right after the stream, I'm going to be starting in and making another batch, okay? But I'll be doing the same batch, but basically what I'll be showing is that by doing this, it will continually have a supply of bread, and with the next batch, we actually have something that you guys are going to get a big kick out of, but that's going to be for surviving romance. Whole nother ball game, okay? But again, homemade bread, ridiculously easy, and for this particular homemade bread, all we did was we changed out, one thing for something else, and ended up getting something a little bit different. Okay, so just one of those things, ridiculously easy. All righty. So, what's going on, filming? I know, who doesn't? Who really doesn't? And of course, we're going to get into some other stuff here in the near future. Again, this is going to be a just short stream, a real short one. The big one, of course, will be later on tonight. Okay, that is the plan. The big one will be later on tonight. So here, just as soon as this timer goes off, we will be good to begin slicing this bread. Now, this is your basic straight dough method, but with a few changes. This particular bread, what we did was, instead of using a traditional bread flour like we did in our last loaf of bread, what we actually did was we changed it out for all-purpose flour, and we used cornmeal. The same cornmeal that you can get just off the shelf, ridiculously cheap, just yellow cornmeal like this, okay? And we did about a half and half mix. Then, of course, we swapped out the kosher salt for pink Himalayan. We still used honey as usual. But you use my honey. And then followed the recipe as usual. The same recipe that I've used for the last two loaves of bread that we've made. I'm sorry, the last now 4 loaves of bread that we've made. So if this continues at the rate we're going, I might have to maybe continue doing this and start selling it. But anyhow, so now that I've said that, basically, why did we change out the ingredients? Well, this is kind of based on an early colonial bread for here in the United States, which that particular bread was even based on a bread that the Native Americans made. What's going on, Harrison? So again, this is basically the same recipe, but we swapped out our starchy ingredients to make this. As a matter of fact, the reason why, again, is if you're suffering a shortage in your area, maybe you can't get bread flour, which there's been moments that I was glad that I have this in my baking cupboard, because if I didn't, we wouldn't have been able to make homemade bread. Wouldn't be able to show you guys how to do this. But we actually struggled. Takes a friend and runs. That's Harrison for you. So again, this type of bread is based on an early colonial recipe. And again, whenever I do bread baking, I always do it by weight. Get a digital scale, Okay. Oh, there you go. What's going on, Devil Dog? And we have Sophia. My goodness. All sorts of wonderful people popping in. So again, this is just something, again, that's our homemade bread. Hi, honey. Oh, and there is our timer telling us that it is time to slice up this loaf of bread. Now, for our folks that love homemade bread, things like that, just think for a second. The smell is amazing. And it's still warm. Still has that nice warm bread feel. You know, where it's moist and still, you know, light and fluffy. There you go. Spread that on nice. Just like that. And it's still warm enough. You don't even have to toast it, and it'll melt right down in there. Honey, would you like to be the first to tell us whether or not?
Is it the end?
Hmm.
Is it the heel?
Yeah.
Can I have one that's not the heel?
Not a problem, dear.
Thank you. Sorry to be difficult.
Shoot, I can live with that. Running low. We lived on a farm. We'd just go we'd go haggle old Bessie, but we're not on a farm. Get out another stick of butter. So again, oh, and we do use stick butter. We don't use the tubs.
You don't use the tubs. I just haven't bought any. I'm the only one that would eat it. Hey, I love me some country crock.
That's just a crock.
Bad crock pie.
Oh, don't you dare! You're not gonna have words.
Yeah, and the words are crock pie.
Woman. All righty, here we go.
I love you.
Love you too, babe. Nice, solid crust.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Look at the way the butter's melting on it. Still being warm, fresh out of the oven still. Single pat of butter. I'll be right back. There you go, honey. This one right here. Now for myself, I don't care if it's the heel. I'm curious. That's actually really good. That is amazing. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That is absolutely amazing. Look at that. That, I mean, shoot, you can just about make a meal out of that. A little butter, a little jelly, and you're good. So again, What can you do with having knowledge like this? Well, in an urban survival situation, again, obviously this is food on the table. It takes care of the family, it takes care of you and the family. The other thing that it does is if you make enough of it, okay, shortages in your area, problems that you're dealing with like that, okay, you can easily sell this or trade it to somebody and get the supplies that you need from someone who has it. And, you know, that's a way of making the ends meet, survival, okay? And once the pandemic is kind of begins winding down and all this other thing, you know, all this other stuff, get good enough at doing stuff like this, and you can start taking it to a farmer's market, and people will buy this, okay? They will buy this sort of stuff because they're tired of the stuff that they get at the grocery store where the parts list on it looks like it belongs on the back of a paint can or maybe inside your engine, okay? Not exactly what I call healthy eating. So by doing this, you now have yet another set of skills. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. If by the end of this pandemic, you haven't got a new hustle or a new hobby or a new skill, then you wasted your time, okay? Bread making is now one of my new skills, one of my many new skills since this pandemic started. And I continue to keep educating myself, learning more and more different ways to improve myself. So if, like I said, Western civilization breaks down, those of us here in the United States are not going to know what to do. We'll now now you guys can have the same skills and in some cases, maybe even do a better job than even good old Prince Magnum. So again, continue to keep learning, continue to keep getting better. Good to see you. Good to see you, Hades. We just got through baking another loaf of bread. Slightly different recipe. Dates back, this one is based on an early colonial recipe. And at the same time, it is dang good. I think it is. Honey, what's the verdict? It's okay. It's okay.
I liked the other one better.
You like the other one better. Okay, okay. Good stuff, Maynard. So here in just a bit, we're going to be starting up. It doesn't taste bad. It's not as good as the regular bread flour one. No question about that. But it's still good. Okay? This would be better served the regular bread flour recipe, I will say right now, is better than this because the bread flour recipe would work just fine. You can eat it by yourself, just eat it by itself. Okay. This would probably be better served next to a pasta or maybe some sort of nice soup, something to that effect. This would almost have to go with something else. This is good as a filler. Okay. Which is kind of what the colonials would have done anyways. As a matter of fact, what I would do with something like this is I would take and slice, make scrambled eggs, put that over the top of it, and then sprinkle on some cheese, and that would be just fine by me, okay? But in this case, with these scrambled eggs, I would have to add a little bit of nutmeg to it. But that's just, now we're getting fancy on y'all. But that would actually be really good. And you wouldn't even need eating utensils. You just pick it right up off the plate and nom, 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 nom. Which is one of Princess Faye's favorite types of meals where there's not a whole lot in the way of dishes. And I kind of tend to agree with her too. So there you go. I'm already working on the next batch, which I got out the bread flour. I'm going to make another batch of bread. And later on tonight, we'll probably talk about that bread. I am doing fantastic. Yesterday was my birthday. And as of today, I'm 41. 41 years old. Can you believe that? And I'm getting to be an old man on y'all. But that's okay. And for the record, if you're wondering what this kind of would kind of resemble, it would resemble what a modern day corn muffin, just a little denser. Okay, still good. Mm. Mm. That's good. So again, this was just a short stream. Mm. I am awfully hungry now. So what I'm going to do from here, we will be live later on tonight. We will be doing something exciting. I don't know what that is, but we're also going to be taking a look at tomorrow where we'll be finishing up another loaf of bread, but we're going to do something special with it, okay? But later on tonight, we will do something exciting. I just don't know what the excitement is yet. I will try to post something in the community tab when I know more. Sophia, I will tell you that stick around for a surviving romance episode. That's when when I break out the big guns and I do some serious, amazing cooking. I can't talk today. Gosh dang it, I'm thinking food here. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I can't believe I'm 41, So now I'm getting into my 40s, okay? I'm really getting into it, but that's just part of it all. So expect later on today, we will do something. I'm not 100% sure, but we will definitely do something. Tomorrow, we will finish up another loaf of bread. I'm going to get to work on it pretty much right after this stream. But Princess Faye will be going live. The moment this stream shuts down, Princess Faye will go live. And I think she's going to be doing Minecraft. So for those of you who enjoy Minecraft, you definitely want to get over and see what Princess Faye is going to be working on. Maybe you might learn something. Maybe you won't. I don't know. Yeah, post a link, would you, baby? She's working on, she's getting ready to drop a link. My wife is actually in chat right now, keeping an eye on things, making sure I don't get into too much trouble. Dang, that's some good stuff. All righty. You close tonight, honey?
Huh?
You close tonight?
Yeah, it's my shift.
Damn. Because Sexy Saturday. Okay. All righty. So, we might be getting to work on yet another project later on tonight. Who knows? Or we might just do something else. Who knows? We're definitely, it's on the table. I'll take a close look at it. So, all righty. Again, this was a short stream, pretty short. And again, we're going to continue. I'm going to continue to show you guys survival skills like this that you could do right in your own home during this pandemic. And again, it'll help you get through these hard times. Again, I just started bread making during this pandemic, and I'm glad I did because I'll tell you right now, I'm enjoying it. Of course, I'm going to have to get that bicycle project done quicker now because I'm going to start packing on the pounds if I keep eating like this. All right, so that brings us to our usual spot. For all of you out there, get out there and work on a project. I don't care what it is. Just do something with yourself. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind go together like oil and water. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet and do something special for them today. And as always, for all of you out there, if no one out there has told any of you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.